Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Hi. Welcome back. So I'm sorry you heard my dog bark just a second ago. I don't know if the camera picked that up or not. I was trying to shush him. And I was, Anyway, you guys, welcome back. This is going to be a today's topic reading. Aries, don't lick my feet. Today's topic reading for January the 26th. And as always, you guys can enter to win a free read by writing the word compassion in the comment section. And as always, you guys, also thank you so much for choosing to watch my videos, for giving my videos thumbs up. It's the only way my channel can grow. I appreciate you guys so much. That's why I do these giveaways every week. It's just to say thank you guys for being here and being amazing and bringing your energy to the collective. I have some of the greatest comments and nicest energy here. So anyway, I did a pre-shuffle for this one. And what we've got is card number 3, which is all about dreams. Okay, so this card has much to do with, well, kind of two aspects of dreams. One is like remembering that we can create things. We sometimes do really want to listen to those deeper dreams that we have and then say, well, why can't I achieve that? Why would I think that that's out of my league? In dreams, there are no limitations, right? However, the other side of the coin is that sometimes we can get lost in illusions as well. So it's really, we've got to put dreams into how do I want to say this? Into a context that is really achievable. Okay, so let's see what side this falls on, because I'm not sure if someone has been actually giving themselves an illusion or if someone has not been dreaming big enough and then going after it. Wow, we got a 10 of Cups. Well, that's not an illusion. Everyone can have the 10 of Cups. Everyone can be happy. Now, sometimes we give ourselves an illusion about who our 10 of Cups is. That's possible. So we know that we want to set our sights on something amazing. We want the 10 of Cups, okay? That is beautiful. That is absolutely something to focus on and to, make that happen, to manifest that. Okay, we do have an illusion, though. The reason I say that is because of the way these cards have presented themselves. If we're dreaming of having a 10 of Cups with someone who has only proven themselves to come rushing in and out, they come in for the fire, for the passion, but they don't really try to make things, they don't try to heal things with us, and they actually always leave us with a broken heart. We're dealing possibly in this storyline, and I'm sorry, this is such a tough one, and I'm sorry for anybody who dealt with somebody like this. I know, I've been there. Someone where it's like they sell you the dream, right? Everything. They say everything just right to make you believe that they are this, only to discover they are just simply this. They're just a knight rushing around. They want to be admired. They want that fire and that passion that comes with someone committing wholeheartedly to them, but they're not sticking around. They never intended to. They're not worried about fixing things. It's not even on their mind. They know that they damaged everything. They're probably too scared to even approach it again to try to fix it. This is not someone who, I'm so sorry, this is so harsh, but this kind of energy is not somebody who's going to show up and suddenly grow up and make things right. This is somebody who, it's in the upright, so there's no sign of them changing it. If it were in the reverse, I would feel differently. But this is somebody who, they're staying exactly who they are. They're not maturing. They're not changing. And when they make hurt out of something beautiful, they don't come in to fix the hurt. That, in fact, they would avoid that at all costs in this story. Now, we're talking only about the type of person that does exist sometimes, that they sell you the dream, but then you really got to carefully look at how they behaved, because words are just wind. Actions are tangible. If someone has sold a dream by saying, I want this life together, I want this, oh my gosh, and the loyalty and the love, they say all these things, but they do this. They rush in, they rush out. There's no stability. When they hurt you, they don't make even an attempt to say, I'm sorry. They leave things in pain. And that becomes the illusion. The illusion is, but I had this dream. This dream was beautiful. What do you mean it was just an illusion? It was an illusion maybe that was intentionally painted and handed to you, you know? And that's not your fault that you believed in an illusion. It was intricately constructed and delivered by someone like this. But if they are not responsible, and this knight in particular is not known to be so responsible. They are exploring life. This is a very young soul. They don't know who they are. And again, this is only in a story, right? And I'm sorry that this is such a harsh storyline, but the big message here is, how do we tell a dream from an illusion? You know, to dream of something wonderful is awesome, right? But when it becomes an illusion is when everything that is actually happening is to the exact contrary of what someone has said. Now that's an illusion. And so this is a very difficult read, but I think every human has gone through this. Every human, the reason we have the term snake oil salesman is because they exist. Sometimes people come in, they sell a bill of goods, they're unconscionable, they don't really care about the long term because they're not capable of thinking about long term. They don't have that capacity. This person is only a knight. They haven't even reached the level of being a king or a queen yet. It would be like expecting a teenager to be capable of making the decisions, you know, that would run a country. You know, there's a reason that we don't have 16-year-old presidents. And it's a good reason. It's because how could you expect them to have the life experience and the you know, just the thought processes capable to make really important decisions? We wouldn't expect that. But this is the equation, or the same thing that would equate to this. Here, this is the romance of a lifetime, the love, the stability, the 10 of Cups, the home, the house, the family. This is like the presidency, you know? But unfortunately, the candidate that you were trying to cast in that role is a 16-year-old, and that's why it won't work. So that's where the illusion is. But it's not someone's fault for not realizing that someone was throwing the illusion. They might not have known it was an illusion. Sometimes people say stuff because they love the way it sounds. They're all in it. They might have even meant those words, but to back it up with the action of what does it mean to be in that kind of a romance and that kind of a relationship, they have no concept of it. So they might have been the illusionists also. You know, this might not be about the person who was sold the story having the illusion. This might be about the person who was saying all these things, and the storyline is more about them in having the illusion that makes them believe that they are grown up enough to have those kind of commitments and connections. That might be why they tell people, why they told someone, I'm ready for this romance, and then they behave like this. So why did they behave like this? And they're also not ready to deal with it. Not at all. The thing is, at least we have some certainty now. 2 of Coins in the reverse says we can see the illusion now. So our dream is not lost. It's that we have to not try to make a 16-year-old president. If we're going to have this dream work out, we can't have that person as a candidate. We got to change who our candidate is. So we know that now, right? With that 2 of Coins in the reverse, it's okay. I know that now. We've got, okay, there's still some upset here. We got a King and a Queen of Swords, both in the reverse, and we got the 4 of Cups. Interestingly enough, both of them have regrets here. There is on one hand, it's a feeling of missed opportunity, but only in the sense that what I thought this could have been, it's not. So there is an understanding. There is, yes, it sucks that this didn't work out, right? And it could be that this illusion is on both people's sides. The person who sold the bill of goods is actually possibly every bit as disappointed in themselves, whichever character they represent, that they didn't have the staying power. Maybe they said that they wanted something and didn't understand what it was that they were trying to say they wanted. They've never had a real commitment. They've never had that real kind of love and romance. But they met you and they said that they wanted that because they really did. But then when they get to the meat and potatoes of what that would mean, what do you mean? I don't know how to do that. They may be just as disappointed in the fact that they sold an illusion as you are to have received the illusion. Because this is unfortunate that this couldn't have turned into something. However, this is not the dismal Four of Cups. This is more the acceptance because of the position it's in. This would be the dismal side of it, where it's like, oh my God, we had this beautiful thing and it fell apart. This is, well, this wasn't really a beautiful thing. That's why it didn't work. That's a damn shame, but that's how life goes. It's more of like, this wasn't really a missed opportunity. It's that it never became that opportunity at all. So, a missed opportunity is where we had it all and then it crumbled. This is where we didn't actually ever have that. And we accept that now. One person maybe accepts that they aren't really ready for that. The other person also accepts that you ain't ready for that. So I feel like now we look at the 8 of coins and it came out sideways and I feel like it's for each of them. Okay, that was a very loud and long doggy barking interlude. So as I was trying to say, we got the 8 of Pentacles that came out sideways, and I'm looking at this from both people's perspective. One colors all crazy outside the line thinking that, see, I did a good job. And it's like, wait, you made a mess. The other person is, mature and knows what the skill and the craft is, and they know how to, like make something happen. They color within the lines. This is like how each person approaches romance or approaches their life. They weren't really on the same page. They both wanted to work on something, but the idea of what that was going to entail was so different. One was still basically going to be kind of footloose, fancy free, doing their own thing, coloring outside of the lines, being messy. The other person was like, no, if you put in energy into a romance with me, we have defined, guidelines of what does that look like, these two weren't on the same page. So it would have been impossible for them to co-create a project. Interestingly enough, though, we have the Death card that is actually still in this really isn't over yet. And we got the 10 of Wands. What's not over is we're getting close to it. But it's some of the, I'm going to say the disappointment. Someone is still chiding themselves. There's, I think, unfortunately, that the person who was disappointed by this other individual's behavior may be the one who is still clinging to this because they're like chiding themselves for, why did I get played? But it's not really like that. You didn't get played any more than the person who played themselves. They thought they were ready for something, but they didn't have any comprehension of what that really was. In this storyline, anyway, what we're dealing with is two people who do not approach a relationship with the same level of understanding because, again, a 16-year-old doesn't approach anything the same way an adult is. And when I say that, I don't mean to be belittling. It's that we all mature in different ways at different times based off of our experiences. Someone can be very mature in one area of life and suck in another. I am like that. There are certain areas I'm good, and there are other areas where I am bumbling still. I am very, I have a lot to learn, and maybe for one person, this was emotional capacity. But here's the thing. The big hurdle is getting over the idea that I was lied to, I was swindled. That's what this big lump in somebody's throat is that they can't let go of. Someone feels you did me wrong. I got played and I'm mad at myself for getting played. But I'm mad at you for playing me. But it wasn't really like that in this story. This is a different perspective. The lies might have been the self-deception in this case, because maybe if we think back, there were some things that gave us the inkling. Ace of Swords in the negative aspect. There was a lot of confusion, and it was really hard to cut this out, even if we saw the writing on the wall. I feel like somebody is really beating themselves up over the fact that I fell for someone who wasn't who they seemed to be. But that's not what the real story is here. The real story is I fell for someone who wasn't mature enough to be who they wanted to imagine they were. That's very different. And so to release all of this hurt, it's all the confusion is what lingers. That's the only thing prolonging this, because we went from the illusion being discovered, but then still wrestling with the idea of, but emotionally, I can't let go of this because I'm upset that I was lied to or that I lied to myself. But I'm even confused about that because this is a confusing thing. It's even more confusing that, look, someone gave what they thought was enough in a connection. I got the strength card here. We're going to get beyond this. It's going to be all right. We're coming out of the other side of this. Whoever it was, they loved in the only way they know how, and they loved as much as they could love. Was their love all about just, you say these beautiful words and then you act all passionately and then you disappear and go do the rest of your life? Yes, that's what their version of a wonderful romance maybe was. They didn't realize that romance is way more than that. They certainly didn't know how to handle it once they did find that out. And once you expected them to be different and be, mature and present and all those things, right? So we have somebody who, if there were intentional lies, even that part, they still somehow thought that that was normal. In this storyline, this is somebody who is very out of touch, very immature. And I only am saying this not to give them a pass, but because they just showed up as a knight. At no point did they show up as anything mature. We have a king and a queen of swords, both in the reverse. I think that the reason this is so tough to let go of also is because it's like, I thought we were a perfect match, and now I feel like I was lowered to being a 16-year-old, because how did I not see this? And I think that there's a lot of self, upset with oneself, but it's not like that. We're coming out of that vibe. When we see this energy of the strength card, the Leo, we're saying that you were strong enough to hopefully have helped somebody learn something. You also were strong enough to get through this and realize that's not where my 10 of Pentacles is. I now have learned something, and it's always a learning process for any of us. This was a very valuable experience, as painful and hurtful as this may have been, as much as it felt like, somebody messed with my mind and I got hurt. The thing is, that came with its lesson and its value as well. And more than anything, you know that you haven't lost anything. You lost nothing in this because you are still you. You are also smarter. You are wiser. You have learned something about a personality type. You have learned maybe about some red flags. You have learned what doesn't make you happy. And now you can move forward with all of that knowledge because you know you didn't miss out on the perfect match after all. So there's nothing to be sad or upset about, because it would have been upsetting if this had really been the perfect match, but it wasn't. Not in this story. Please remember, these are only stories. I don't tell you how your life is, how it's going to go, or how it's supposed to go. I'm not a psychic. I'm a writer, and I write a story based off of images instead of with a pen. So please just know this is improv storytelling, okay? So this is... our lead character here is shifting into a state of, oh my gosh, you're right. I didn't miss out on my perfect happiness. In fact, I'm super close to my perfect happiness because think of how much smarter I am. Think of how much more I've learned. Think of the lesson I got out of this. And I'm single and I'm abundant. And if you notice, this is a 9 of Pentacles, but you see she got somebody coming in, or he's got someone coming in to share something amazing. You have an opportunity to start a new 10 of Pentacles situation with someone. You have everything you need. So if anyone else enters your world, you'll ask yourself, are they bringing value to my life that makes me feel like I'm just about to get to that 10 of Pentacles? If they are sharing their resources with me, meaning, and I don't mean money, I mean, that couldn't be it also, but if they are sharing their emotions with me, I am sharing my emotions with them. We care about each other. We interact with each other. That is amazing. I am solid on my own, but of course I'd love to share my thoughts, my feelings, my experiences with someone wonderful. And if I meet someone wonderful who wants to do the same with me, that's where we start to get closer to the 10 of Pentacles. I didn't have that with this previous situation that we see here in this reading. We had somebody who busted in, said all the right stuff, and then took zero action to actually interact, to actually get to know your life and you get to know theirs. And the two of you are, oh, hey, your car is having a problem. I'll pick you up at work. Oh, let's do this for dinner. Or no, I've got this already cooked. Come on over. Like the kind of interaction where we start to blend our lives together and we can count on each other to be there. That was non-existent in that first situation. Now you're on the verge of having that. That's why things are about to get really good. Things are about to get really, really good here. There's one final component, of course. We got the Two of Cups, and it's in the reverse, in the negative. When you meet this other amazing person, when you are single, loving your life, and you meet somebody else who's single, loving their life, and the two of you are laughing, cracking up, it's going to strike you like a ton of bricks all of a sudden. I never laughed this hard or enjoyed a glass of wine this much with that previous person that I was so brokenhearted over. I never had that with them. That's because they weren't my Two of Cups after all. It's going to be very apparent because look at the difference. These two people are facing each other. These two people are walking away from each other in this barren area. There's nothing growing there. They're not healing each other. They're not even holding hands. These people are sharing and laughing together, and they're both already abundant, but they're sharing together. It's going to be such a wonderful, I'm so glad these two cards came out this way to really show you a visual of what I've been bumbling along trying to explain. The distinction between what you had versus what you get is going to be night and day, and it's going to be such a relief. It's going to feel so good that other person, that you didn't have to get tangled up with that other person, that they didn't come in to fix things. Now, this is going to sound a little bit vindictive, but I don't mean it to. Where is that other person at the tail end of this? They're out there in the cold. That Five of Pentacles is out here. Remember the person that sold the bill of goods that said that they were going to, excuse me, that they were going to be there? I'm going to keep coughing. Hold on. Sorry, this is my limit on how many readings I can do a day. It's when the coughing starts. This is the person that turned into, like, they didn't even care enough to come in and fix the hurt that they'd caused, and you realize that's not the person for you. That person, they still have their five, but they never share with anybody. They don't know how to do that. So we leave this storyline with them being out in the cold. And that's, I would say, is a little bit of, it's the karmic justice until this person learns how to, make good on what they have to say, be honest, be open. This person is the one who's getting left out. We have the Lovers in the negative aspect. We have somebody who's perpetually wanting people to give them attention, but doesn't know that if they're ever going to be satisfied, they've got to actually change the behavior. They have to come into the bright side of things where they have to learn how to give. See how she's giving and he's just here to receive. This person needs to learn how to give in return if they're ever going to find that happiness. So they're feeling the loss of you. They may not even comprehend exactly why. They know that you've chosen someone else. And it's interesting because this person could have fixed things at any point in time, but it didn't cross their mind in this storyline. It didn't cross their mind that they should be trying to fix something. They didn't intend to step forward. This person went on their way, like totally unaware that if you hurt someone, you have to fix things with them. It didn't really register, but now they see that you're with somebody else and it makes them sad. They feel like I wasn't chosen, without comprehending you were chosen, but you didn't back it up with anything real. And then you didn't show up, and then you didn't fix things when you broke things. But this person only still sees it as, I'm out in the cold. You didn't choose to give to me anymore. This person has a lot of growth to do in this story. A lot of growth. Because this isn't, now it's not just that they're 16. They're super selfish. We got the Chariot that is in the negative, and we've got the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Chariot is, this person is not getting balance. They're not growing. At some point, though, maybe because they lose you, they'll finally start to learn some things about themselves, right? The Page of Pentacles is somebody who's at the very starting point of a journey. This is somebody who he's holding a book here and he's kind of contemplating this coin like, wait a second, I just learned something. You mean I was supposed to give you something? I was supposed to give you a coin? It's like it only registers once you are long, long, long gone. That was the problem. But I feel like this person really had to experience a major, major loss of you and even see you move forward into this incredible happiness and maybe feel your energy become aware. I feel like maybe this is it in that one momentary jolt that you have when you're sitting there with someone that you're just starting to date, just starting to get to know them. And you go, I never felt this much fun with that previous person, but I thought that they were my everything. And I was so broken that they didn't give me anything in return. And I realized I never felt like we had that much fun together. This person I barely know. I'm just dating them at the very beginning and it already feels better. And maybe in that moment that you have that understanding and you really are making that comparison, maybe that's the same moment that they energetically get this buzz that you're gone, you're not giving to me, you won't give to me again. Wait a second, you mean I was supposed to have given something to you? That's what the problem was? I feel like this is like revelation upon revelation, okay? Not maybe the fuzziest, happiest storyline, but if everyone winds up growing, and if that's really what we are here to do on this earth, is to grow, to experience, to figure ourselves out, and if we figure more out about ourselves through our interactions with others, then I would say mission accomplished in this. I think everybody learns, everybody gets a really important part of their life experience in this storyline. And I don't really see how that's ever a negative. As long as we're growing and becoming better versions of ourselves, I think that that's just lovely. So I'm going to leave this storyline here. Sorry for coughing at you. I'm sorry, I have asthma. Anyone who doesn't know that comes and goes. The more I'm outside in certain in certain weathers and around certain pollens, the worse it gets. And so from time to time, this just happens. So sorry about that, guys, anyone who's new to my channel, but the rest of you, I'm equally as sorry for explaining it again, because you know. Anyway, you guys take care. Lots of love to you. Thank you for just being here and being so kind. All right, bye-bye.